to make it attractive, to build the system. Make it simple. I don't like doing certain things. How do I even make myself do them? There are some factors that are non-negotiable. Hi everyone, welcome to this video. I hope that you're all doing fine, but I assume you're a bit overwhelmed currently in your life since you have plenty of things on your plate, and if you're a more active person, you try to add up on top of what you already have, and it's just things get crazy when you have to finish things within 24 hours, because then you start wondering how other people can complete their tasks. And maybe you're just curious how I managed to work 2 jobs at the same time, do my master's and also create content for you. I mean, it's not that crazy as it sounds, because you just have to find how to balance things in your life. So let me show you, and let's get started. So I would first want to give you some background about myself so that maybe you can see common issues that you also have, and then how I approached it. When I started my bachelor's, after the 2nd semester, I could already feel signs of burnout, and it lasted at least till the 4th semester, because I had 12 subjects, 2 exams for each, and plus combined with projects. Especially if you're an introvert, it's gonna take more from your energy when you have to adapt to different working styles and try to coordinate with your colleagues. And if you want to gain some financial confidence, you would also want to work. I would say form a mindset of building small habits. You don't need to jump at things all at once. Okay, I have to do that. Just start like with 10 minutes planning. And this is something that I have learned from the book Atomic Habits. It was really useful for me. Just make it simple for you, make it convenient, because if it's hard to implement, then you would refuse to even start with it. Like, for instance, I really liked reading books, but yeah, I didn't have time for it. So I was just reading like twice, 2 books per year. But my goal was 20, let's say. But I reached my goal once I decided that it's not going to be possible if my books are standing in another room and far from me, where I don't see them in front of me. So I built a shelf for myself, as you can see. So every time I go in my room, I'm like, okay, it's right here. It's just literally, I feel like it's calling me. It's saying like, please read me. And I just take one, read for 15-20 minutes. Sometimes it can go for hours. It depends on, again, how you manage your time. And then yes, and this is how I started applying this principle to other things as well. But maybe you're like, but I don't like doing certain things. How do I even make myself do them? Although it can be convenient, then try to make it attractive, try to make it satisfying. You can reward yourself. Okay, you did a good job. And definitely you don't need the motivation for that, because at some point when you keep it consistent, it just becomes part of your daily life, just as like drinking water that you do on a daily basis. Also, it's very important in general to build the right environment for yourself. If you are not keen on studying and just doing your homework, then go find friends. Maybe you're a social person, you would rather spend your time doing some more socializing, but then you can combine this. You can just go together to a library and study and share your thoughts, maybe ask questions to each other, and this way it becomes more attractive. You create the right environment for you, and maybe it's easy if you find a close location where you can just come together. So far, we built the system. Make it simple, make it convenient, make it attractive and satisfying, and create the right environment for yourself. And now let's try to implement things. One of the most important steps for me personally is to prioritize and based on my priorities to make some space for the important things that I have to implement. Stick to 3 to 4. It depends on your capabilities and desires. So stick to a certain number of aspects that you want to grow at certain stage of your life. These things can change, so always review them and see what might be not so essential to you at certain periods. So just always update that list. Yes, I would recommend you to come up with a list and then decide how much time you want to dedicate for each per day, per week, and whether you're possible to do. Be realistic, be specific, decide where, when, and how. Like, for instance, I open up space for my studies when I am traveling, let's say. I am going to university via train, and it takes me like 2 hours. And then meanwhile, I just open the articles that I have to read for my lessons, or just watch the videos that are required for me to get prepared for the class, or simply sometimes I diversify while reading, because this day for me is a priority to read something that I would want to know more about. You do these things, everything is fine. However, you always have to go back and see your progress. Come up with a tracker, see how much you manage to implement of the goals that you set for your day, for your week. And then, okay, if you see that you could not actually manage doing everything that you have planned, then this is a good indicator that you have to reduce the volume or do some other adaptations that will make it again simple, easy for you, and more attractive. So let's say you're currently a student or a prospective one and your priority are your studies. Full stop. No comment on that. And it's understandable. However, there are some factors that are non-negotiable. So you cannot even pick them because they should be there as your priority in order for you to function on an optimal level and be efficient. So what I mean is to focus on your health and on your sleep, and combining that with saving some time. For instance, what I do is I sometimes ride a bicycle from work back home, or the other way around, and this way I use my time to travel and at the same time stay active, so then later I have time for my studies. Maybe among your studies you want to also work to build some financial confidence or develop in your career path, and that sounds great, no wonder. However, you need to stick to flexible jobs. I got several offers, and like the salary was quite attractive. However, I really needed flexibility. I needed a job where I didn't have to go to the office every day. However, because I would lose some time on the traveling, although I'm not always productive when I'm traveling to work or to university. Let's be clear on that. I don't always do my studies. So I decided to have the possibility of staying home and, for instance, paying more attention during the breaks or whenever possible from my work schedule. And then at the same time, I'm doing a part-time job, which is where I keep teaching, which has started back in my bachelor's, where I was teaching maths and statistics, and I keep that going on, and that totally depends on my time. I set my time, and so this is what I mean by having flexibility around your work. Otherwise, you would again end up with an environment where it would not be convenient for you, it would not be easy, and you would not be willing to stick to it for a long time. And finally, to stick all things mentioned together and enable them to work together is to form a supporting environment around it. Just imagine like a cube where you have things inside, but you have to build like the outer space. So this can happen when you have friendships, colleagues, peers that are willing to offer you help or simply encouragement for you to keep going. And that is super vital, especially in some critical moments that you are just cannot manage and overwhelming. And although you stick to these things, these moments will happen, that's for sure, because life is unpredictable. And finally, be transparent if you're working to your employer. Most of them are quite understanding, but definitely tell them about your commitments, and I'm sure they will find some accommodation around that. Thanks for watching, guys. It would be awesome actually if you can share also about your background and your studies, how you manage your life in general, so that we can learn from each other and create an open discussion. So thanks again, and if you find my content useful, feel free to contribute by sharing, liking, and in general, sticking with me. Thanks, take care, and till next time. Bye bye.